Okay, so now that we've done a few mental exercises to get you ready to writing your birth plan, we're going to go over what you want to think about when you actually sit down to write it down. And just because I'm having you write it down through this exercise today doesn't mean that you have to actually bring a physical piece of paper with you wherever you're giving birth, whether you're at home, whether you're at a birthing center, whether you're at a hospital. This doesn't mean that you're expected to or you're required to bring a piece of paper with you when you go into the birthing space. The point of writing it all down is just to get all of your thoughts out, be able to look at it, look at the bigger picture, take a step back, if you will, and kind of see if there's anything that you think you might want to do a little bit differently. So, when you sit down to write it down, there are 6 things that I really want you to focus on. The first thing is essential information. What do you think everyone needs to know, regardless of your birthing preferences, when you go into the birthing space that day? What I recommend is your name, your number, your home number, your partner, whoever is there supporting you, their number, and this is important in case they ever get up to go and leave, take a break, go get food, whatever it is. If you have kids that they need to go check on and you're close enough, you want to have their number on this piece of paper so that your staff, your care team can get a hold of them if they need to. Maybe any emergency contacts, any close family members that need to be notified in case they're maybe watching your children or watching your pets or whatever it may be. Anyone that someone might need to get in touch with to help you with any affairs. If you're going to be in your birthing space longer than expected, you want their information there, their name, their number, and how they're related to you, just so everyone kind of knows who they're talking to. It makes it a little bit easier for everyone. If you're having a home birth, you definitely want to have your doula's number, your midwife's number, so whoever gets there first, if you're having a doula and a midwife, they kind of know how to get in touch with the other if they don't already have that information. Okay, so when you're actually sitting down to write your birthing preferences, I want you to be careful when you're using tone. So as you're writing your birthing plan, you want to make sure that you're using a tone that's collaborative, that's encouraging of a communication between all parties. We don't want to have a birthing plan that sounds like demands, because that can put our care team on edge and feel a little anxious when they're interacting with us because they don't want to upset you, but they also know that they need to be able to recommend things for your safety and your health. So you want to make sure that you're using a tone that's encouraging and inviting of a communication, a collaborative communication between you and your doula and your midwife and your doctor and your partner and everyone who's part of your care team. And that's the best way to make sure that everyone's safe and all of your needs are met. Next, I want you to think about priority of things. So we did that with the ideal birth plan. I had you cross off things little by little that were less important to you, so you could really start to think about what are the main things that are most important. Of course, everything you put on your birth plan, we want to be respected, but in some cases, maybe through policy or resources or health needs, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. And that's something we need to be prepared for. So being able to prioritize which things are most important, but which things are still important, and just things that you are more okay with having a discussion about, if it doesn't look like they're going to be as appropriate of options for your specific case. But at least they know, okay, this is a main priority. So if for some reason we can't do it, we can at least come in with a more gentle tone, knowing that you're going to be let down. And that can really help with your response as the patient, as the mama, if they were to come in and say, due to health needs, due to resources, due to policy, these are unfortunately things that we can't continue with or that we can't give you. And then they can come in with a gentle tone and you can respond with a gentle tone, but still a tone that advocates for yourself to make sure that you get your needs met as much as possible. Next, I want you to think about your audience. So I have a birth template that I have shared with you, and there's two different audiences that you're writing to, right? So one, the one that's more bullet pointed, that's for your hospital staff, your birth center staff, really just those two. Those are the quick notes that you want them to be able to look at, a one-page sheet, and just be able to see, okay, these are important. These are like kind of important. We want to be mindful of those. And these are things that like would be cool, but like, hey, it's no big deal if we don't have it, right? And then there's the more lengthy paragraph sheet. And so that's one that you want to share. You can still share it with your hospital staff and your birthing center staff, but that's one that's more meant for like a home birth midwife, a doula, your support team, your partner, anyone who's going to be there and has more time on their hands to sit down and actually read through this and get more of a sense of what you're looking for and why. Just simply because of time. Unfortunately, hospital staff and some birthing centers, the staff members just don't have the time to go through multiple pages, read multiple paragraphs. Sometimes they might, absolutely. But we want to prepare for them to not be able to have the time and still be able to get the information that you need them to get, which is why the bullet points are really helpful in that situation. When I was having my first son, I gave a full sentence, grammatically correct paragraphs, 3 pages of birth plan. And I gave it to my midwife, and she came in 12 hours later, right when I was about to I think I had just birthed my son. And she's like, now, I haven't read your birth plan in several hours. Can you remind me what you want to do about the cord? And it seemed odd to me, but thinking back now, I'm like, okay, well, I had 3 pages with lots of information on there and only one sentence saying, please wait for my son's umbilical cord to be white and done pulsating. And if instead I had a wait for white in my postpartum section bulleted, that might be something that was a lot easier for my midwife to remember. And I don't fault my midwife because she has multiple moms in any given day that she's caring for. And that's just the nature of the beast. We don't have enough care providers to give each mama the one-on-one care that a privately hired midwife for a home birth would be able to give you. Okay, so another thing is clarity. So clarity is really easy to accomplish in both cases if you are mindful about it. So you can be unclear even with paragraphs of space to write in because you could just ramble about things that are non-specific and kind of just bog up your message. You can also be unclear in the bullet points if you're not providing specific enough information for them and it's just a quick little blurb of something that makes sense to you but maybe isn't specific or accurate verbiage, and so then it doesn't make sense. It's not very clear to whoever's reading it. So we want to make sure that whatever we're writing down is clear and also concise. So brevity, we want to make sure that we are providing short but yet comprehensive information to whoever's going to be reading this. Again, we don't want to have lots and lots of fluff. We're not writing an English paper that we need to stretch to the 15-page limit or minimum even. This is a 1-page sheet. We want to be short. We want to be comprehensive in what we're saying, but we want to be very specific so we can make sure that we don't confuse the reader.